Hey everybody, this is Mark Bozon with IGN Nintendo, and I'm here to give you a video review of Trauma Center's second opinion for a Nintendo Wii. Trauma Center got its start on Nintendo DS under the name Trauma Center Under the Knife, and if you've heard of it before, it's probably where. It was a cult classic, sold a ton of copies, and it really was a poster child for innovation on the Nintendo DS platform. As one of the first of many Wii makes for Nintendo's new console, Trauma Center follows essentially the same storyline as the DS version. Dr. Styles, a young hotshot doctor, is out to save the world one suffering patient at a time, and it's up to you to make it happen. Using the skills of a master surgeon, players are going to operate patients using a scalpel, needle and thread, ultrasound, disinfectant gel, surgical lasers, basically anything you can find around an operating room. Instead of actually taking control of a stylus like you did in the Nintendo DS version, Trauma Center's second opinion has you using the Wiimote and nunchuck controllers in conjunction. Since this game came up from the Nintendo DS, people are complaining, wondering if it's going to be a Wii make port or, giving it a really bad rap just because it's a DS game that's now turning into a Wii game. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's awesome, it plays really well, and you don't have to worry about it being a Wii make. For starters, Trauma Center's second opinion's got a pretty solid facelift from the DS version. The game has a huge amount of detail and polish compared to its DS counterpart, and the amount of visual effects it's seeing is obviously something we didn't see much of on the handheld version. Where the game really comes alive, though, is in the precision of the Wii Pointer. Since Trauma Center is all about speed and precision, diehard fans are a bit worried that the DS stylus feel wouldn't be there. Instead, the Wii controller actually offers a better feeling, and the game is far more legit in its execution. To use forceps, for example, you'll actually pinch the A and B triggers together with your hand. While making an incision, you'll actually see your cursor shaking on screen because of your hand, which actually makes Second Opinion far more intense and incredibly entertaining. In fact, the sheer amount of different tasks in Trauma Center make it ideal as an introductory game for Wii players. The game will start you off with simple tasks such as doing surface cuts with the Wii controller or pulling out shards of glass from a person. It'll move on to things like the tumor extrusion that you've seen in the DS version, which have you basically draining fluid out of a tumor and cutting it out. Really messy stuff. But when the game really gets interesting is when you start fighting off the guilt, which is essentially like a weaponized virus that's attacking people from inside. You're basically going to have to cut people open, get in there, get your hands dirty, and really zap these little critters as they're running around trying to tear somebody apart from within. It's definitely like a sci-fi take on the game, but it's really interesting to play out, and it definitely adds a ton of depth to the game. A new tool to the operating room in Second Opinion is the defibrillator. Basically, it lets you take the nunchuck in your left hand, the Wiimote in your right, press them forward, and actually zap your patient as he's about to die on the operating table. It's definitely one of the cooler new tools that's been added to the game, and I definitely want to see more of this in future games. At the same time, Second Opinion isn't without its faults either. Since the game's entirely based on the DS version, the missions, the stories, characters, and all the twists and turns that you got are pretty much going to be the same thing this time around. A graphical overhaul is definitely appreciated, but at the core of the design, Second Opinion is basically Trauma Center 1.5 instead of a full sequel. In addition, the experience can be a bit short for some hardcore gamers. The main story is going to run you an average of about 10 hours, and while there's an added chapter and 3 levels of difficulty in the Wii version, Second Opinion is still played in addition to a game like Zelda rather than being a system seller on its own. It's also a bit disheartening to see that 480p is included, but we're not getting the widescreen support we were hoping for. The game's got a really clean and polished look, but it'd be more impressive in 16:9, and hopefully the sequel is going to have it. Still, the core game's amazingly entertaining, and the fun controls really do go a long way on the Wii. Despite it just being a Wii make, we gave Trauma Center an 8.0 because it's still an awesome launch game, really gets you in tune with the hardware, and it's going to be a great game for people that have never seen the series before. To check out the full review, just hit up IGN.com.
Doctor, proceed as normal.